Welcome back to Catholic Lunch Break here on AM 1430. This is Wyatt Goolsby, Executive Director of this radio station, KSHJ. Both myself as well as my colleague, Zach Allen, the General Manager of KSHJ, want to wish you a very blessed Easter season. But many, of course, have been riding the waves of emotions. First, we had all Easter Sunday, of course, celebrating with friends and family members, only many to wake up here in the United States to learn of the death of the Holy Father. In the meantime, we're getting more information here in the KSHJ studio, including statements from our local clergy members as well. So I want to read a couple statements, both from Archbishop Joe Vasquez, the shepherd, as well as Cardinal DiNardo on the death of Pope Francis. Again, this information coming out just a few minutes ago. So here's the statement I'm going to read in its entirety from Archbishop Joe Vasquez, his statement on the death of Pope Francis. United with His Eminence, Cardinal DiNardo, Bishop Italo del Oro, the priests, deacons, men and women, religious, the lay faithful of the Archdiocese, I am deeply saddened at the death of His Holiness, Pope Francis, this morning in Rome. Pope Francis' life and ministry centered on walking alongside the poor and marginalized, sharing the life-affirming message of the gospel, not only with them, but also through them to the entire church. His deep commitment to supporting all individuals in their happiness and struggles will leave a profound and enduring influence on the church as it embarks on its continued pilgrimage of faith, hope, and charity. As pilgrims of hope, we take solace during this Easter season in the resurrection of our Lord. Let us offer our prayers for His Holiness, Pope Francis, through the intercession of the Blessed Mother. May the Lord embrace him in His merciful arms. May his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. I also ask you to pray for Cardinal DiNardo and the entire College of Cardinals during this time. Again, that's the statement from Archbishop Joe Vasquez on the death of Pope Francis. Also from the Archdiocese, we received a statement from Cardinal DiNardo himself, and I'll read that here in its entirety. I, along with Archbishop Joe Vasquez, Bishop Italo del Oro, the priests, deacons, men and women religious, and lay faithful, express my profound sadness in the death of His Holiness Pope Francis this morning in Rome. The life and ministry of Pope Francis was marked by walking with the poor and those on the margins of society to bring the life-giving message of the gospel to them and through them to the whole church. His intense focus on accompanying all men and women of goodwill in their joys and sorrows will continue to have a lasting impact on the church as she continues her own pilgrim journey of faith. As the church comes together to mourn and pray for the soul of His Holiness, let us commend him to the loving embrace of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of the Redeemer, to whom he had such loving devotion. May his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace. I also ask prayers for myself. Again, that's a statement from Cardinal DiNardo upon hearing the news of Pope Francis. In addition to that, Archbishop Joe Vasquez, as well as Cardinal DiNardo, along with Auxiliary Bishop Italo del Oro, will all gather together tonight for a Mass. A Mass of Easter Monday will be offered for the repose of the soul of His Holiness Pope Francis this evening at 5 o'clock. It's going to be at the Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart in downtown Houston. Again, all of those bishops will celebrate and then offer, of course, for the repose of the soul of His Holiness. So again, 5 o'clock this afternoon at the Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart in downtown Houston. If you can't make it for some reason, the Archdiocese says they will stream that video live on their website, so you can check out their website at archgh.org. And again, they'll have that, again, through the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston. So again, we're continuing to get more statements from clergy members across the country, across the world in response to the death of Pope Francis, and we'll continue to keep you up to speed here on the Guadalupe Radio Network. As I had mentioned, our general manager, Zach Allen, is with me here in the studio, and we've kind of been thinking about all this information that's been coming in. And Zach, I wanted to just get your initial thoughts about this, the death of Pope Francis, because I know, like I said, a lot of us woke up this morning and started hearing the news. For you, I guess Pope Francis has a big impact for you because you're a convert to the faith. You came in just, was it 2014, just 11 years ago, when Pope Francis really just 1 year into his pontificate.
Right, yeah. I entered the church Easter Vigil 2014, so Pope Francis had been Pope for just over a year. And then we went to World Youth Day in Poland, so I got to see Pope Francis. That was my first time to see the Pope Mobile.
Oh, very cool.
As a convert, I had not even seen pictures of of that taking place, with different popes. So, it's a great experience, of course, entering the church and him being really the only pope that I've been Catholic during his pontificate. So, I wasn't Catholic during the last transition after John Paul II passed away. So, kind of exciting for me to see this take place, what's upcoming. But it's sad, of course, with Pope Francis passing, and unexpected for me. I mean, I know he had been ill. He had been following his illness, praying for him for several months. And so when he had returned home to the Vatican, of course, I had high hopes that he was strengthening in his condition, and we had, much more time. So I was very surprised this morning when I heard the news.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that we were all praying that his health was starting to return so that he would be able to, be around a few more years. And it just didn't necessarily turn out that way. That it turned out that God called him back to himself. I should say, Zach, that before this, you'd grown up in the Methodist tradition.
Yep.
So for you, like I said, you're learning all about how this process works, the death of a pope. And then, of course, we're going to have a conclave to decide a new pontiff. And so I guess for you then, this is all brand new. I guess when you were growing up, you never learned about any of this. Kind of didn't really. What did you think about the Pope? Just sort of the leader, kind of a global leader, but didn't know a whole lot, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, that's very accurate. Yeah, I didn't know very much at all about the Pope, other than the fact that he was the leader of the Catholic Church. I didn't know too much about who he was, or what his role particularly entailed, or how he led the entire church around the world. So I really was very naive when it came to what the role of the Pope was. I did know of the name John Paul II growing up, but I didn't know much about him. Of course, but then during my conversion and entering the church, really came to appreciate, St. John Paul II and his contributions to the church and through his writings. And then in the early years, the first year of Pope Francis' pontificate, some of the things he had already put out were very impactful. And even, Pope Benedict XVI, and that he wasn't Pope for too long in between, but even his impact, in my conversion and reading what he was doing, I really came to have a deep appreciation for the papacy. And then my confirmation saint was St. Peter. And a lot of that was because I really came to love just the continuity of the church from St. Peter on down to our current Pope. So, really, like I said, I feel sad that Pope Francis passed away. It is very unexpected. But it is exciting, of course, as always with the church, to move forward and see what God has in store for us to come, because obviously we pray for Pope Francis' soul, as all of the cardinals, archbishops, and bishops are stating. He lived a virtuous life, seeking the Lord, so we don't have doubts that he would be with God, but
right.
Of course we want to pray for his soul as we pray for everyone that passes away.
Yeah, it's a really great point, and we hope to follow so many of these popes to get to heaven, because we want to be with Jesus forever in heaven. And I agree with you, Zach. Growing up, I was Credo Catholic. You're a convert. And yes, it's interesting how, by the way, St. John Paul II had an impact on so many of us, even though you weren't Catholic yet. His example and devotion to the family continues to have an impact on the church. So I bet he also had a big influence, of course, on Pope Francis as well. So it's just so interesting how, St. John Paul II had an impact. But yes, I agree with you. I think that so many of us are going to continue to pray for the repose of His Holiness Pope Francis. As I had mentioned before, they'll have the Mass at the Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart tonight at 5 o'clock. So Archbishop Joe Vasquez will be there, Daniel Cardinal DiNardo, and again, Auxiliary Bishop Italo del Oro. And of course, we'll also be praying for Daniel Cardinal DiNardo, who will be traveling to Rome eventually for the conclave as well. So again, we'll be praying throughout this whole process that again, for the future of the church as well. So we're hoping that a lot of people this year and later this summer will be joining us, you and I, Zach, as well as the rest of the Guadalupe Radio Network in prayer, because we're going to be having a very special day coming up in Plano, Texas, with a number of supporters for the Guadalupe Radio Network across the country. Tell me a little bit about our anniversary celebration.
Yeah, so upcoming this summer, the 25th anniversary celebration for the GRN. on July 19th. So if you haven't already marked that date on your calendar, you should. July 19th at the Plano Events Center. Lots of great show hosts, speakers, musicians will be present for this event. An opportunity to see them, to hear from them, to meet them. I mean, some of the names on this list, Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers, you can hear him every day on our station at 3 p.m. after the Divine Mercy. Father Cedric Pizzania, who's actually here in Houston and is on our programs at 4 multiple days a week. Of course, Adam and Debbie, who are on every Saturday morning at 10, but also each many days on Morning Joy as well. Matt Maher is a big name that people will recognize, and
he'll be working on some music for us.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
it's that's not it. I mean, there's more. Check out our website, grnonline.com. Go to events, click on 25th anniversary. Many other names of people will be there. Of course, all your GRN employees will be there as well, so you can see all the different people from the different areas and listening areas as well. But it'll be a great celebration. Time to come together, time for adoration, time for confessions, I believe. There's going to be time for music and also some announcements to come out as well. So definitely an event to attend.
Yeah, you're right. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on that day, and it'll be a full day. We should reiterate that event, the GRN 25th
How much
anniversary.
does it cost? What?
I was going to say, it's free. It's a free event. That was the place where I was going with that. Again, it's going to be in Plano. So we have some people from here in Houston area who are already planning to make the trip up there as well. So it's an all-day event on Saturday, July 19th. Because, again, you're right, we're going to have Mass, confessions, adoration. It's going to be a full day for us, but it'll be a joyful event as well. And you're right, it's completely free. We have the information on our website also for hotels. So if people are looking for places, it's going to be at the Plano Event Center. So a number of the hotels are near that area. But if you want to make the trip up, like I said, we already know somebody here in Houston who are going to be doing that. We look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, and it's like it says, doors open at 7:30 a.m. It's an all-day event, so definitely keep in mind it is free, but you do need to register. And I think we're already past the 50% mark.
Okay.
So if you think you might be interested, check your calendars and go ahead and register so you can join us, because we definitely want everybody to be there that can.
Very good. Well, it's going to be a busy July for us. We'd mentioned that July 19th is that big event in Plano. We also got one the next Saturday, the following Saturday, here in Houston. We've got our summer speaker series coming up we'll be holding this in the Clear Lake area at the Lone Star Flight Museum. Who's coming to town, Zach?
Yeah, last year we had our very first summer speaker series event here in Houston. We had Debbie and Adam. It was a great event. If you're able to come to that, thank you for joining us, and hopefully you'll come back this year again. But if you didn't get to come last year, check your calendars for July 26th here in Houston at the Lone Star Flight Museum. As Wyatt mentioned, Dr. Ray Garendi is coming, and he is a very popular show host, but every day at 12 other than on Monday, because here we have Catholic Lunch Break on Mondays at 12. But Tuesday through Friday, you can hear Dr. Ray's show. The Doctor is in. He's very funny. He's a clinical psychologist. He does everything from a Catholic perspective. He's got 10 children. And he's, he lives life, and he's humorous about all the different challenges and things that happen in our day-to-day life, but all from a Catholic perspective. And he's great to listen to learn from. And not only will he be presenting, but also have some live Q&A with Dr. Ray at the end. So a great opportunity to interact, to learn, to spend some time together. Also for us all to get together as GRN listeners here in Houston. We only have a few live events per year, so this is a big one for us. And it's a great opportunity to come, to be present, and to support this local station here with your tickets. $45 each gets you food, drinks, and into the Lone Star Flight Museum. You get to see the hangar, see some of the awesome planes they have there, and also enjoy the talk and the Q&A at the end.
Very good. So again, Dr. Ray Garendi, who is a fabulous speaker, done so much for us here at the Guadalupe Radio Network, coming to town. Dr. Ray Garendi at the Lone Star Flight Museum in Houston on July 26th, that evening. So again, what's the website for people who want to find out more about that, Zach?
Yeah, to learn more, just go to grnonline.com/SSS for Summer Speaker Series. So grnonline.com/SSS. And sponsorships opportunities are available as well. So reach out if you might be interested in that.
Very good. And again, we'll be updating you more about Summer Speaker Series here in Houston as well. Again, we want to thank everybody who helped make today's program a success, especially in light of more information we're coming out about the death of Pope Francis. So my thanks to Zach Allen. Also, thanks to Tim Mott for helping produce this program, Catholic Lunch Break. Again, we'll continue to pray for the repose of the soul of Pope Francis. Again, thank you all so much for your support of the Guadalupe Radio Network. And until next time, stay Catholic, Houston.